Pessoal, bom dia. Hoje aqui eu estou com um convidado que foi bastante esperado aqui no canal. Eu já tinha bastante tempo que eu queria entrevistá-lo, né? Vocês provavelmente já o conhecem desde o grupo que existia, que era o Scout, quando eram 3 membros, agora já são outros novos integrantes, mas ele montou seu próprio projeto há pouco tempo, que acho que inclusive foi desde 2021, 2022, se não me engano, o Hrafngrímr, e a gente vai entrevistar aqui ele para a gente saber um pouco mais sobre esse projeto, um pouco sobre esse estilo musical que ele está trazendo dentro desse projeto, e é isso. Mattjö, thank you so much for being here in the channel. It's a big honor receiving you. When I told you, I was a very fan of your work since you are in Scout.
Yep.
And for us start, how you start your interest for Viking age songs or for composing about these styles about Norse mythology, about this universe? How do you start your passion about this?
I've been interested in such things since I'm a child. I think it's about 5 or 6 years old, because my mom was reading stories about Scandinavia when I was a kid. The stories of a book she'd been offered when she was a child, and yes, I've been really interested in such universe and mythology at that time. I was about 4 or 5 years old, maybe. Okay. And then I've been very involved in my daily life with such things when I discovered the album Roots of Sepultura, and it's been like a call to my ancestors when I discovered the spirit of this album, because I'm at the beginning I've been a metalhead first, and I'm a big fan of Max Cavalera and Sepultura and Soulfly, and then all these root things and tribal things, and I try to mix the Viking things with my normal life things, and that's it.
That's fantastic. And how did you start the idea to for first to create Scout and next Hrafngrímr? How this transition of projects that you do, and how you have this idea for
Yeah,
the 2 projects?
to be honest, at the beginning I was on the verge to create a band named Rotar. It means roots. It would have been like not a tribute band, but very very inspired by Soulfly. And instead of putting in Latino instruments and berimbau and such, I wanted to put some Nordic traditional instruments. And then I've been invited by Skal, because I didn't create it. I've been invited by Skal to sing in it, because they needed somebody to like me, with that kind of face and that kind of knowledge about Viking things, And then after 2 or 3 years, I can't remember, they kicked me out. So the day after that, I just decided to create Hrafngrímr. And at the beginning, I wanted to take this idea back, and one folk pagan song, and then another one new metal song and such. But we just created a dark pagan new Nordic songs. So that's it. That's the story. The beginning of the story.
That's very interesting. And how the idea for the lyrics of the songs in the Hrafngrímr project, how do you have to create the ideas for the concept of the 2 first albums that we have, the first EP in 2002 and now LP in 2024?
Yes, at the very beginning, I was picking up in the Avamal, like all the friends do, like Nitland, like Vardruna, Helum, and Zinskald, for sure. And I was a little bit, how can I say that? For me, it was not interesting anymore, because picking up very medieval texts wasn't interesting. I wanted to express my own mind, my own feelings and emotions. And we started to work with Jules Pied, which is a specialist, doctor in old medieval languages. And we started to write our own texts, and he helped us to translate it and respect the Kenningas and all the way of writing of the medieval scholars, right? And nowadays, with the first album, we try to work all together. At the origin of the project, I was like the captain of the ship, right? And like the leader in some way. And I didn't want that anymore, because I want our band to be, how can I say that, genuine, you know. And everybody has to put something in it, their feelings, their emotions and such. So we work on the text with Christine and Mus, for example, but sometimes Nesh or Indrik or maybe Nico will have the envy, the lust to share an emotion, a feeling, and they will be very welcome for that. And it's the same for the music. Nowadays, we are all writing the songs all together. And that's the way, that's the reason why Niflheim Sauga is very modern, because we are not pretending we are Vikings. We are new Nordic people, and in a new Nordic style from 2024, you know. So we are not from the past, we are from nowadays. That's the thing.
That's a very different idea if we compared some bands, because many tries to revival some things of the past, but the bands have a perspective to be in a future with some things of with the past,
Yeah.
but not specifically the Viking Age, but
No.
specific for modern things that
Yes.
inspired by the Viking Age.
As I told just before, it's like the work of my life, to be honest. I tried since I'm a teenager to mix the best of the past and the best of our contemporary world, you know. And there's no just bad things in our world, you know. I don't have to feel some nostalgia, you know. And I just want to be myself nowadays. I'm not a Viking, to be honest. You know, my mother is German, my father is French, you know. So my mother has some Scandinavian roots, but very away in the past. So we want to be genuine and to be, how can you say that in English? To be, I don't know the word in English. To be faithful to ourselves, you know. And I'm the only one in the band who's very keen on Viking things, to be honest. And Christine has Viking origins, but before going in the band, she was not very interested in. And we can't do anymore only Viking stuff, because it's not my personality in this band, it's our personalities in this band. So and for example, Mus is from Algeria, Indrik Arno is from Greece, and you know, so we are trying to mix all these things, and this album reflects our identities and feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very special to see that in the album. We have a lot of people that are from different origins but contribute to doing some very special in the songs, in the lyrics. And for we try to comprehend more about the project, you start with the LP EP Home Gun, and there are many some reference of the poems of the this part of Norse mythology. How do you do this research to transform this specific lyric in something that was in the text of the original, like the Poet Kid example?
Generally, music comes first, and then according to the music, the track, I will feel something emotional, and it could be sadness, it can be passion, it can be many different things. And then I was at the beginning, I was picking up in the Avama and try to find the proper lyrics, but I'm fucking limited then because Avama is not talking about everything. So we try to pick up some sentences from here, from here, from here, and try to make something coherent, something understanding, and but we were too limited. That's the reason why we decided to work only with Jules Pierre, and make our own lyrics. And Ormganga was the first EP, but it was with a different team, a different mood, and different will, and a different way to think about the project. So yeah, it's how can I say that? It's a part of our story, but it's not really representative anymore of the band and the music we are making, And for Nivelaim Sauga, it's a little bit different. And there's no lyrics in Nivelaim Sauga from any texts. Everything is original and genuine.
Oh, that's very interesting, because we saw in some lyrics parts of these poems, but are very different when you do the composition with the songs.
Yep.
And we create and imaginate these stories with
Yes.
Like that they have a soundtrack. Example, we have some specific story, but when you put the music, we try to imagine the situation that was in this lyric, and this is very interesting to saw that.
That's it's like a game with the audience. We are trying to make some music and sing the lyrics with our heart and guts, and it's in Old Norse. And if people understand what we are trying to sing without knowing the words in Old Norse, we won the game. It's and yes, it's very funny sometimes. People really resent and feel our songs. It's very precious to us.
Yeah, it's a very different part compared to that of others that I listen. It was, I think, is new and something different, and we saw that in some specific different ways. I think we saw this transition from a first EP to the second, and they are very, very different stories.
Because it won't be very interesting if you are copying our friends from Heilung, for example, or Nitland, for example. Won't be interesting for us. Even in the designs, the artwork, or the songs, they do really good already. Such things. What is the matter? It's not interesting for us to copy or try to do the same, And with Nivelaim Zauga, we had the occasion to bring and gather all the inspiration of everybody in the band. We are almost all metalheads at the beginning, So we put our metal and rock influences and electro influences, maybe sometimes, just to make it look like us, modern and from our days, not from the past. That's maybe, and we consider ourselves more like a rock or metal band, That's the reason why sometimes we can play in the same gigs than metal bands with a metal audience, because we write this, songs like this the same way, and the same energy, and the same way to write the lyrics and such. That's very different. And it would have been really boring to make the same than the other bands, for example. Doing the same than a Scald would have been really boring, especially for me, to be honest.
I was thinking that some points of Scald that was a perspective of some folklore and mythologies
Yeah,
that was related. But with Hrafngrímr, you do some things different that are the sounds that was created in
yes.
Skull.
If we are honest, I think at the very beginning of Hrafngrímr, I probably wrote songs that could have been compared to Skald. And I think it's quite normal because you are influenced by the 3 or 2 past years working with them and such. But nowadays we are not um, working on the same topics, the same instruments, and the same way to sing, and the same vocals. Everything is really different, and we use the mythology to create our own story, our own tale, and the mythology, the Viking Scandinavian mythology, is very uh, useful for that, to create your own world, your own legend, you know.
Yeah, this is fantastic because um, it's my next question about that is just that because um, in the second album now that you produced that from Hrafngrímr Nifesal Halga,
Yep,
we have these some featurings like with Midland
yep,
that was in the album, and you do a very beautiful video clip in participation that was so mystic and very very different that we are accustomed to saw about the
yep.
Viking Age. And how this is the idea and concepts to produce this material, how the principal inspirations for doing this.
To be honest, it's an idea from Mus, because he was like, I've been looking for some informations about the Scandinavian mythology and such, and he told us, I found that about one of the 9 worlds, Niflheim, for example, there's no much about it, and we could probably try to work on this universe. And it was like really good idea because it will compel us to create something and not just pick up. And uh, and then Christine was like, oh, yes, good idea, but I would like to put something personal on it. I'm a modern woman, and I'm not really interested in the pure Viking things. How can we find a story to explain that our sound is more modern with the electric guitar and with the electronic things? So we created a story about Nibelheim from nowadays, and the song with Nidland is the opening of this universe, because Kulum Midgardsveit means we call the spirits of Midgard to unite. And Niflheim Saga is like, we are hearing the call, but it's not possible because the bridges are broken for 1,000 years, And no, the story is that there are so many pagans, neo-pagans, new pagans, and so many people listening to Vardruna, Nitland, Skald, Heilung, that break. The story is that it brought the bridges back. So we can go through the bridges from Niflheim and come on Midgard, see what the world evolved during 1,000 years. That's the story we created, and it helps us to criticize our society and all the misery and the war in the world, and with our modern eyes. That's you can criticize a constructive um, criticism, just trying to depict the horror of our world, and the injustice and all the misery and wars. That's it. So we can have our own lyrics in Old Norse, because in our story, the myth we created, Old Norse is still spoken in Nivelles, you know. But yes, that's the idea. So we are very free for the creation, no limits, you know. That's
Yeah,
the idea.
that's amazing to know that we have a lot of things that working together, and this is a very different specific things in this type of songs that you create with the band, and this is it's amazing to saw that. And in some songs, we saw that have many different situations. We have references of the drugger, of some reference to if some specific events in the Norse mythology.
Yeah.
How do you choose to for create the ideas for the album? How you simply, oh, I need to put this story that you combine with that, or it just totally chosen
And
for free?
we have no, you know, we have no defined process, you know. We are trying to be spontaneous. Yes, I have the word in German in my head, but I'm not sure about in English. But spontaneous, yes. And we are trying to let our inspiration fly free, you know. So it depends. Sometimes I'm bringing a song, and we are working on it all together. Sometimes it's Christine, or sometimes it's somebody else, and then we are very. It's like an intense inspiration. We are forging it together, all together, and then it inspires us some kind of lyrics. But I don't know. Sometimes it can be about death. It can be about the people we miss, the dead ones. You know, it can be about the storm of this world who is breaking and killing everything on its way. You know, it can be. It depends on the tunes. It depends on the music, to be honest, because I think music and the way of singing is more communicative, you know, and no matter of the lyrics. Lyrics are very important for us, but I think it's the way how we evoke, how we incarnate it, you know, that matters. And yep, I think that's it. And so, yes, we have just, how can I say that? Just, we are coming from Nivelles. That's it. And then from that, just express what you want you feel. That's the spirit of the band. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic to know that. And the ideas for the covers of the albums, how do you have your inspiration for the first and for the second? How do you have the ideas for doing the cover?
Mm, no idea. I don't remember. The photo of the EP is from a Norwegian photograph. She's called Astrid. I should remember the name, photograph name, artist name, but I'm really tired. I forgot it. She will be. She will send me a message. I saw. Remember my name. And for the album, the artwork and design have been made with a very old friend of mine. We were in the same band, metal band in Paris a long time ago, and Madanagan, it was called, this band, and he's a very good designer and graphic designer. So he helped us a lot. And at the beginning, we were not very sure about the cover of the album, and when we shooted the music video, Christine asked our photographer, which who is a friend of us, a very close friend of us, Valentine Commun, lovely Valentine, kisses, Valentine, to shoot pictures during the music video shooting. And well, the photograph, the picture were good, yes, very good. So we decided to pick it up, and we were not very sure, you know. We have built it It's the process, you know. We don't really know where we are going. It's like the Vikings on the oceans. They don't know really where they are going, but they are going, and they take risks. It's not easy to put a so dark and black cover this way, but it was exactly the way we wanted it. So I think it works.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful cover. We saw some things like I imagine some specific things like the ravens that are very black, or the some things that's in my imagination saw when I see sometimes of this cover, and very beautiful cover. And for the next session is about that because many bands have some specific types of the clothes or side of styles of doing makeup and to have appearance for some specific things. How Hrafngrímr uses that, or have some specific things that you want to try to pass for people, or we try to interpret some things doing or using specific clothes, or how this works for the band. These
It's
are some aspects.
for Hrafngrímr, it means the raven, the guy who wears a raven mask. It means that. And it's like a totem, you know. The raven is like our totem, and so everything has to be around the raven, the colors or the inspiration. But uh, except of that, everything is free too. So we are trying to make like mood boards, you know, about on Pinterest and such, to find inspirations, colors, lines, just not to look like the friends, you know, like Halo and such. And sometimes, even if we don't want it, it may happen with a mask, a traditional Siberian mask and such. Some connections can be found. And we are trying to, for example, Christine is like, she's on the idea to probably wear a different dress on stage, on every show, or a different haircut and different, you know. She also designed, no, she did not design the mask, but she bought a specific mask for her face and such. We are just trying to think about it very seriously, just to be very classy and very. It's like contemporary art, you know. We are trying to be very. Yes, we are working very hard on it. Yeah, you know, we are inspired by music videos like the music videos of Björk, for example, and such, or other artists with very we are taking a risk in the images and the lines and such, and the colors and such. Yes, it's more funny. We can't we will never shoot a video in a forest, for example, or across the ocean on such. No, no, it's already done by Vasco and the others. So we want to do the things differently. Like, yeah, contemporary art. It's fucking interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a very different sometimes of course that the band used in the image, because sometimes many bands try to recreate some things specific of the Viking Age, but we saw many bands that try to do it very unique and very different, and this is very nice. So this image that you create is different, it's very creative.
Yeah, but still, it's inspired by the Vikings. It's inspired by the Viking mythology. Yes, that's true. But we are trying to create what could the mythology icons look like nowadays. You know, it's funny just to try to create something, how it would look like. And so we tried, and sometimes when for the music videos, Cougar, for example, we at the beginning we put some pictures with me and with a chainmail and a helmet and such, following the death, maybe hell. We don't really know this beautiful lady, but we decided to cut in the during the cut because it was not interesting. We really want to stay in this perspective and this yes, colors and inspirations. It must be art, and not reenactment or not you know. I don't remember the word, but I think you understood my mind.
Yeah, and the experience of using multiple instruments of many epochs and many times that you saw that we have these ideas for the concept of the album to use some different instruments. How is the some challenge to work with these instruments and combine with some actual instruments that you use in multiple bands?
For example, the challenges might be on stage because it's very difficult to amplify such instruments. And for example, we can't work with switches for to listen to what we are playing. We are compelled to use the in-ear monitors and such. And sometimes it's the tune. We might be in some difficulties sometimes because I've got something in my mind, or Christian or Indrik has something in his mind, and when we try to make it with the instruments, it doesn't really work sometimes. But it's funny, that's the challenge, and we are keeping using that traditional instruments because they are the link between the past and the present days, and it's very interesting to use that these traditional instruments, like the gambri, from example, that comes from North America. Nico has drums from Argentina, from Brazil, from Japan. It's very interesting to keep these traditional instruments in our music. It's the link, because tradition means transmit something, and I think all the people and all the culture are linked by this tradition and the traditions, and it's in a way in our work, in our music, and the use of those instruments. It's a call of to unity of the peoples, in the world. We are all brothers and sisters, and yes, that's the main image in mind. We are all linked. We are all related. We are all friends. We are all the same ravens. That's it.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective because the instrument sometimes I think, oh, that was very different to use that, and now we have to use other instrument to complement that, and it'll be a very, very big challenge, I think.
Yeah, and we want to try new things. We are very curious. We can't just stay on what we already know. So Indrik just bought some flutes. He's a little bit boring with that because he wants to put flutes every time on every song. But it's very interesting, to be honest. And we are trying to put more harpas, uikos, and we are trying even to put flutes from Oriental sides, and percussions, darbuka, for example. And we are trying to yes, we have no limits in our inspiration. That's the reason why we are not a Viking band. We are a new Nordic band or a Northern European band, for example, but not a Viking band. We use too many different instruments from too many different origins and countries.
Yeah. That's very a very curious thing that for us now, because many persons sometimes who saw and say, oh, they are Viking band, but it's not a Viking band. It's Noise is a very different
Yeah,
things and separated things,
or
and
we could
that's
say,
very
for
very
example, maybe new Viking band, but not a Viking band. New Viking, because we are very inspired by the Vikings. That's true. And myself, I'm totally inspired by the Vikings, and I also do reenactment, living archaeology and such. So it's part of my life for sure. Even in my beliefs and such. But I am not the band. You know, so yeah, it must the band must look like everybody in the band. That's very
oh,
important.
that sounds great. And you told that you have experience of archaeology. How did you saw this experience? How you do, and that's what the importance for you to
The,
this
the experience
the
of
archaeological
archaeology,
experience that you saw. How do this is works for you in the music during this experience?
for sure.
Archaeological, how?
Yes, because when I began to do some archaeology with my friends in La Branche Rouge, it's a reenactment troupe. They broke all the cliches about the Vikings, all the cliches I had, and they show me some books. They helped me to be very accurate on this topic, and they helped me to be very uh, yes, curious, and always trying to find the sources and source everything, just to be sure to be correct in my purpose. And I had the occasion to experiment in the fights, in the battles, and to experiment like potteries and oven and trade, and even experiment the building of a house and such. So that's the reason I'm pretty sure I'm not a Viking. I think I would have been dead in 2 days. you know, I'm very happy to have a shower, toilets, no diseases, and to live in a climate who's quite good. And no war and no assault during the night and such. No, I'm really happy not to be a Viking, to be honest, a real Viking. You know. And yeah,
Yeah,
I understood a lot of things about the courage of the Vikings, the curiosity of the Viking, how they always try to create things and make their lives easier, and the beliefs for sure. Even if the texts are written 2 centuries after the Viking period, but it's very interesting and about what we can try to understand about these people. It's very inspiring, and all the mythology is very inspiring, to be honest. Yep. But yes, I don't. It's not like I have got a lot of friends, but like this. But the haircut. It's the Viking haircut, this historical Viking haircut. I don't have this typical Ragnar haircut, No way. And yes, I think first of all, it helps. It helped me to break the cliche, yeah, of the Viking people. Yeah,
yeah. This is fantastic that you do something that not only imitate the style of the Vikings, but broken this with this situation of only recreate like in age every time doing some things inspired but not exactly
absolutely. Yeah. Something new.
only the Viking.
Yeah, just trying to create something different and something new. To be honest.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And for you, how do you consider the most fantastic experience, the studio of recording an album or being in the stage, in the big stage? You have a fantastic show in Hellfest, example, and it was an amazing. But for you, what you saw, or you consider that you are amazing,
I
or
think
one is more comfortable to do?
it's two very different. It's two very different situation. Yeah. I really like being on studio, but it's a lot of work, and I'm managing a lot of things. It's very tiring for me. Very interesting, but really very very tiring. And being on stage with my fellows, sorry, and being on stage with them, sharing this pure and unique moment, and sharing this energy, and with the audience, with the public, it's very genuine. It's very different experience, and I really love it. Really, we were in on um, touring, touring, if we can say, because it was only two shows, but in Paris and in Nantes, and we spent a very, very good time together. It's like a family, going to holidays together. We are doing the job, and then we can't stop laughing. We can't stop having jokes and having good times all together. It's very good, and always um, trying to analyze everything we did on stage, how we can make it better, how we can stay that open-minded with the audience and so close to the public. And we really like this. We really like this. As soon as the show ends, I go right to the merch stand, and I take time with the people, and we really love that. And I think, sorry, and I
No
think
problem.
and I think it's the yes. To me, now with this team, I really spend a very very good time, and sharing the Hellfest on Temple stage with them. It was the very 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 one of the best day of my life, to be honest, because I already played on this stage with Heilung and with Skald, but here with Hrafngrímr, it was very very intense, to be honest, so fucking intense. I was like in a in trance, I was like not. I don't know if I was not myself, or if I was exactly my inner self. I don't know. It's a very strange experience. I think I was in the right way at the right moment with the right persons. And I was exactly me with them. So yeah, I think still I'm missing the studio experience. I was already creating a new song just before you call, because I'm like I need a new song, but the stage is way more intense. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a very beautiful perspective, because we saw that in the stage the emotion of the public is with the band and with the, and this is a thing that was very curious. What do you see the perspective of the metal festivals working with bands that are relationship with this um, example, traditional bands with folklore bands, and do you see this a good perspective for metal incorporate these bands? How this is it was working
Yeah, I think
for
I
many
think it's
bands?
okay. I think it's totally okay, because most of us are from metal bands before. For example, Aina,
Mhm.
he was in Gorgoroth, and black metal bands and such. So it's the same codes, it's the same uh, mythology in the writings or in the artworks and such. And I think all those kind of pagan bands could play with black metal bands. No problem. I'm sure about that. Even with death metal or new metal bands, it's okay. I'm pretty sure of that. It's the same to me. It's the same public. It's the same audience. Yeah. And we played in another metal fest last year in Moto Culto, and yeah, yeah, it was no problem really. The public is really curious and very cool with us, really. At the Hellfest, it was about 13,000 people in front of us, and I couldn't expect that much, to be honest. I was really surprised, really, because I couldn't imagine to gather so many people, because Hrafngrímr is very young, you know. We have to develop a lot of things. We're independent and no labels and such. So I couldn't expect that so many people, right? You know, and I think it shows how the metalheads may like our kind of music. You know, I'm sure of that because we are metalheads. We are writing songs like metalheads, so it's the same. And we are. It's not an electric guitar, just a claripa instead, but it's the same. You know, for us.
I think headbangers love some thematics about the Vikings too, or they love this some histories. It's interesting because the festival tried to take this part of history that cause some emotions in the headbangers, and it's a complement of the other, the
Yeah,
metal festival with this different bands
yeah, I'm
that
pretty sure.
are in searching some aspects, and this is a very very different thing, and sometimes very positive.
Hmm.
Show new bands and new sounds in these festivals. And you work with a singer, and how does this work for your the band, doing this do it with two singers and combine the female voice with the male voice? How this is do you think this is for work for the music from Hrafngrímr that you see?
Um, it's a very good question. Sometimes I'm working on some demos and I just try, or Christine sometimes, or Mus sometimes, and it depends on the song, you know, and the feeling that the song evolves, you know. And I think it is natural, you know. Christine and I are together, so sometimes when we are having a drink together, we decided just to have a jam and just to record the jam, and then it becomes a song. It depends. Sometimes it becomes not a song. It doesn't become a song. Or sometimes you are just, for example, Skugard. I remember we rehearsed in this very room, you know, and Mus was like, it was 2 a.m., you know, and we were very tired. And suddenly it was like, I have an idea. I have to compose it right now, and shut up and let me go. Okay, and he decided to write Skugard. And then when Christine heard it, she find the inspiration on the very second she heard the song, you know. And on this very song, I decided not to put that much of male voices, you know. And on other songs, it's the inspirations of the vocals are from me. I ask Christine to try things, or sometimes it's Christine to ask me to try things. For example, in the song Olmganga, she asked me to sing like this question and answer, you know, question and answer, question. So it depends. We are free, as I told you, so it comes from our hearts, as simple as fuck. It's as simple. We don't, and sometimes we let the song rest a little. We listen to it again and try if we are still motivated and in fire with the song, you know. And if it's the case, we keep it this way, you know. That's it.
That's that's very fantastic work. So many bands that were nowadays using the female voice with the male voice, and that's I think is a fantastic um, with this duo that works very very great, because it's a song with two persons that are different time of voicing, but when the song was working, this is whoa, it's a
Yeah,
very very big surprise.
yeah, yeah. It's For the moment, it's a good way to work and to write songs. That's it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And for us finish the interview, how is the plan? Sorry, the future plans for the band, and how will we have some new song or have some things
We will
for
have we will have
new tour?
a new music video. Okay. And I'm trying to work on a featuring on a new song with my hero, but I can't say more about. But I already told you some evidence about it. So it would be my dream to make a song with him, and I would love to make Christine sing with Björk, but it's impossible. I don't know how it could be possible, but we will see. And we will have a release party in our hometown, Christine and I, in France, and we are working on more shows during the next year. We will we will relax a little because this year was very intense with the album, the Hellfest, and the recordings and such. And in February, we will maybe shoot the new music video and have the release party and more shows and probably some singles. We have a little surprise for our fans, for the metalheads, for example. We have a very special surprise for them.
Oh, I'm
So,
excited about it.
yes,
Yeah.
it will be quite busy year. Yep.
Oh, it will be fantastic. And for plans to you have a plans to go here to Brazil, see, make a show in Brazil.
I would love that. I would love that because it's the home country of my heroes, Sepultura and Soulfly. So I would love to come there. I dreamt about coming there when I was a teenager, to play with my electric guitar and such. I would love that. And I don't know if we are maybe it's too early for the moment because the band is not big enough, probably. Um, but I would love that. A tour in South America would be great, and North America for somewhere on the other side of the Atlantic. I would love that, and I'm pretty sure that the other of the bands would love that because we are very curious to meet other cultures and to meet other people and to discover other instruments and yeah, I would like to come to Brazil. Yes, great.
If you come, you will not be open because this is country you love your music because we have a lot of people that are be more and more interesting about North mythology, about Vikings, and the band have some aspects of that, and the people will be crazy about that song. I think it will be very nice to do a show, concert here.
I will tell our booking agent then to find a place in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, and Master, for us finish completely the interview, I would like you to thank you and
Thanks to you.
question you if you would like to sing something or play something. Every interview that I do with a musician, I question you'd like to sing something or
Oh,
doing some.
I did not expect that. I can try to sing a song, probably not, because it's something we do all together. Uh, but for example, yes, I can try something.
Just you
Something
have
like that.
to manage the audio because have something that don't sound your voice.
Okay.
Do you have to manage the audio here in? How
I
can
need
I
to
say?
manage mine audio.
Yeah, it's here in the audio. How can I?
Mhm.
For you put the audio because they have canceled the some part. It's
Mhm.
the configurations. Just
I
he's
probably have a
putting
solution. Just wait a second. I think I've got the solution of that. Don't worry.
it's cancel of have a part here. You have to close that.
Mhm.
Let me
I'm
put
really shy, to be honest. It will be a very good exercise for me because I'm too shy usually, you know? Okay.
just a moment.
Okay, I will try to plug another mic.
It's noise cancellation. It's you have to.
Don't worry, I have something different to help. I will change the. Uh, okay, okay, okay.
And you have
Okay.
to its configurations, audio and noise cancellation. You have to press on to just for the microphone resound your sound when you are singing.
You can't hear me? I want to. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Amazing.
Tick, 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 tick. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just your volume was little low.
Yeah. 1 2 1 2 1 2. You can hear me now?
Yeah,
It's better this way?
yeah, it's better. Do you put in the configuration for the audio? You close
Yeah, I changed the
the
microphone just to be
the noise cancellation.
the noise cancellation. I still have to put it, right? Okay.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
to
Let me see.
press on
So
just for
yeah, the noise cancellation is on.
uh, putting off for you
Okay.
sing because
Off.
your sound now you are sing.
It's better now.
Yeah.
Okay. I've tried to do something, right?
Okay.
Let's try something, but not too long because I'm too shy. All right.
All right. No problem.
Yeah, I'm shy and not ready, but it's okay. No,
That's
yeah,
good.
that's the kind
That's
of thing I'm
that.
I'm I'm singing usually, and yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm too shy for this kind of exercise, to be honest.
But that's fantastic. It's very nice hear that it's a different sound with the voice. How do you do that with your voice?
I don't know, to be honest. I was trying to imitate Pierrick Valence from Scald when I was in the band, and he gave me some tips. And at the beginning, we are like trying to find your voice, the bass, you know. So you are like, and when you find the correct way to put your throat, you know, so you can have first the first tone, you know. Oh, and when you have it,
Oh,
it's very easy to find it back, you know. And then you have to play with your mouth and all your face to find the second tone, you know, the second, and it's like. It's
Oh,
a technique from Mongolia. Yes, Kagira. Okay. And Indrik is a very good one for the other technique, which is quite the same, but not with the same vibrations. Like, but I have to train a little, to practice, just to improve it. And that's that's a part of our songs, very important part of it, because we found that in a lots of culture we find these good guttural voices, in Africa, in Asia, in lots and lots of different kind of traditional culture. You have this kind of singing. So it's with the instrument, it's another link with the past and the traditions. That's the thing. So we are
of
trying to ex- to use it in a modern way. That's the thing.
yes, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this and show us how this is work, because I was very curious about that. I saw many singers doing this and oh, how this works.
Yeah.
I was very curious about that. And thank you so much for your participation. It's an honor receiving you. I was
Thanks to you
very, very
for the
excited to have
invitation.
you here in the channel. And for me, it was a dream realization, I think.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's very cool from you to invite us for an interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I will just finish the recording.